Hello everyone, Mr. Dino023 here, and it's finally here, the top 50 most impressive world records that were broken for speedrunnings in 2019. And with that being said, let me give a small disclaimer before this starts. None of this list was decided by myself. All of this was decided by you guys, and for that I wanna thank you so much. There were a total of 112 voters, which means that there were over 1,000 votes spanning like the last couple of weeks. And that ended up with more than 90 submissions for world records that, I mean, if it's a top 50, not all the world records could make it to the cut on this list. That doesn't mean that any world record is less or more impressive just based on that. It just means that the community thought that some world records, like they decided to give their votes to some world records other than other world records for whatever reason. So this is a list made up by the community. So I think it's a very good list, and I'm excited to show it to you guys. Today we're gonna be seeing the 50th place to the 41th place. I'm gonna be releasing a top 10 video like every Friday up until we arrive to the last top 10 from 10 to 1, based again on the vote of the community. With that being said, if you enjoy this type of content, want to see more about speedrunning, such as my Speedrunning 101 series or Speedrunning News Network or many other type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, leave a comment, leave a like, share the video if you like it. And also, if you want to see me live, make sure to tune in at twitch.tv/MrDino023 from Monday to Fridays at 4 p.m. Alright, with that being said, enough about myself, and let's proceed with the top 50 list for this week. It's gonna be 50 to 41. Let's go! So beginning our list is gonna be Super Dram World 2 in 27 minutes 17 seconds by SuperVen1755. Kaizo Marios have been a form of a popular speedrun in the most recent years, and many could argue that Kaizo Mario Worlds were the reason why Super Mario Maker actually does exist. So Super Mario or Super Kaizo Worlds are games that are ROM hacks or modifications of the original version of Super Mario World for the SNES that includes a lot of crazy tricks, shell jumps, jumping in between dolphins, and many more tricks to defeat each level. So this game had a 2-year-old world record by one of the most popular Kaizo World players named Grand Poover, which actually holds a belt for this achievement for having both world records in Super Dram World 1 and 2. Super Dram World 2 was made by Panga and was finally beaten by SuperVen1755 after 2 years of the previous world record holder, which is just a crazy feat. The 49th spot is gonna be for Just Incredible for its 2 hours, 46 minutes and 40 seconds in Super Mario RPG The Legend of the 7 Stars. So without a doubt, many of the world records showcased here are gonna be like crazy execution and really hard to actually achieve, but we made a list of top 50 games that are hard to speedrun. I think Super Mario RPG would definitely make the cut for that. Just Incredible is the only person that has ever achieved a sub 247, and this game includes a lot of tricks, a lot of RNG manipulation, one-frame tricks, even a little bit of a platforming for being an RPG. So Super Mario RPG being one of the most acclaimed games on the SNES library and being beaten in a total time of 2:46:40 seconds by Just Incredible, it's just that, just incredible, and makes it the cut for the 49th place on this list. So what if I told you that Super Mario 64 can be beaten in under 10 minutes and with just 1 star? Yes, that's right. That's an incredible feat that Dowsky has been hunting for the last couple of years in many different categories. And this one is gonna be talking about the 1 star in 7 minutes 14 seconds and 230 milliseconds. So the way that this is possible is thanks to a trick called long back jump or back long jump, BLJ for short. But there's many different ways to call the BLJ because it's performed in different ways for different situations of the game. Just look at the amount of times that BLJ shows on the splits for Dowsky. Alright. So for this 1-star world record, he broke his previous world record of 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and this is why Dowsky is gonna be taking the 48th spot on this list. Spot 47 is gonna be going for Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. This is a game that many would love probably from their childhood or teenage years when they originally owned a PSX, and it's a very 3D fun platformer released back in the 90s. This game involves a lot of slide roll abuse to go as fast as possible and sometimes go in places that probably the developers didn't really intend it. So with a lot of crazy execution, hard gameplay and precise inputs, Nishikino would claim the first place with a total time of 38 minutes and 59 seconds, which is an incredible feat, especially because it's a whole 1 minute ahead of the second place. So we talked earlier in this list about a 2-year-old world record being broken in Super Dram World, but how about a 10-year-old world record being broken? Yes, that's right, and that is what Sonniku Star achieved in Strider any percent for the Genesis, achieving a total time of 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Strider for the Genesis is an action platformer featuring Strider Hiryu, the well-known Capcom character, especially also for the tutorials at GDQ. And the previous world record was by Breakdown 776 in a total 9 minutes of 50 seconds, which was held for a total of 10 years. Sonniku Star states that the world record is currently still improbable. However, who's gonna be the one that wants to improve this record-breaking world record? We'll see. In the meantime, congratulations for beating this one, Sonniku Star. For 45 spot, this one might be a little bit controversial and I wanna give a little disclaimer before proceeding. Remember that this list was made out of votes, and at the time of this run, it was definitely the fastest time recorded on the Wii Virtual Console, however not the fastest time in which the game was beaten at the time. And with that being said, let's proceed with our Majoras Mask any percent for the Wii Virtual Console in a total of 57 minutes and 29 seconds via video. So the reason why this speedrun was most likely voted, it was because of this trick that was discovered very recently, in which you could go directly to the moon warp, do a moon warp and just skip a whole lot of the game. This was discovered very recently, and a video was the first one to record a whole run applying this new trick and claiming the first place, at least for about a 12-hour period, again with a 57 minutes and 29 seconds. So with that being said, let's proceed with our 44. On our 44th spot, we're gonna be having another Majoras Mask any percent run. This time it's gonna be on the Wii U Virtual Console in a total time of 54 minutes and 2 seconds by NOP 112. Now, similar to the video run, this is the first time and the first sub 1 hour that was achieved in this game using the debug menu. The debug menu was similar discovery to the moon warp, in which in this case you needed to play the ocarina about 10 minutes total in the run, and that way you would be able to open the debug menu. And with the debug menu, well, you know what a debug menu is. You can do basically like almost everything, because it was not intended for players, it was intended for testers to be able to just try to break the game as much as possible. However, when you give this menu to the hands of a speedrunner, well, you achieve stuff like sub 1 hours in games like Majoras Mask, which could have taken otherwise like probably days or weeks to many players back in the day. For 43 spot, we're gonna be having Bismarck with a total time of 5 minutes and 55 seconds in one loop for City Connection. This fun and addicting NES game, which was an adaptation of the arcade game of the same name, it's incredibly hard to achieve this time of time. In this game, it involves a lot of crazy hard jumps, especially because the car jumps like in a delayed way. But not only that, you have to deal with a lot of random cars and of course the infamous random cat. Bismarck is the only person that has ever achieved a sub 6 minutes in this very RNG heavy run, so congratulations to Bismarck for achieving this time in City Connection. So with only 2 spots left on today's list, we're gonna be proceeding with Heavy Racket any percent in 21 minutes and 27 seconds by Andy SWE. Now Andy is nowhere unfamiliar to like speedrunning NES games, and he managed to claim a world record after 3 years of the previous world record holder Soda Noir. So Heavy Racket, it's a platforming game in which you manipulate the main Sons of mascot for many years called Heavy into these situations, very tight jumping and some weird dealing with certain enemies of the game. So this definitely would require a lot of skill, especially if the previous world record was standing for a total of 3 years. This is definitely an incredible achievement by Andy SWE. Alright, and for 41 spot on today's list, we're gonna be having The Messenger any percent no out of bounds in 1 hour 49 minutes and 33 seconds by 2C+. So this game was one of the most acclaimed games on 2018 for being an impressive action 2D platformer with a lot of twists that become the game from being a straightforward level clearing action 2D platformer to a full-on Metroidvania experience after around the half of the game. This was definitely one of the best games on 2018, and speedrunning the game involves a lot of skill as well as dexterity because of all the many different mechanics and little twists here and there that you can take to achieve more speed, more momentum, less cycles on boss fights, etc. 2C+ is the only player in the world currently being able to achieve a sub 150, and he had only done it not once but also twice, on many even more times, and he recently achieved the same feat in the Sabo Cup, the speedrunning tournament made directly by the organizers of this speedrun. So being one of my favorite games also from last year, I'm happy to see this run made the cut, and with that we're gonna be ending the top 50 to top 41 list for this week. Stay tuned next week and let's see some final words from, well, myself, Mr. Dino. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's the first part of the top 50 world records that were broken in 2019. Just a reminder again, it doesn't mean that these runs are still world records, it just means that they were probably impressive for whatever feat they achieved in the total time of the 2019. So what do you think about the current runs that were shown? If you want to check out any of those runs individually, make sure to check out down in the description. I'm going to be leaving links to each one of these runs over there. So with that being said, again, if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, whatever, share the video if you want to. If not, that's fine. I'm going to be posting the next part of the list on next Friday, also around 3 or 4 p.m. on Friday. I'm going to be leaving more updates on Twitter, and if you want to check out more series, well, make sure to check the other videos down on the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next mission. Have a good one, guys.